Why don't you drink? This question will be asked daily if you don't drink. If you answer this question wrong, as I did, you're going to end up with a load of bother. Because I got it wrong and it nearly cost me my life. There's still a stigma about alcoholics, alcoholism, heavy drinking, etc. And I was asked this question a lot when I was off the drink between 2006 and 2014, 10 years ago when I started again. 8 years sober. You get asked it all the time because everything we seem to do revolves around drink, doesn't it? Birthdays, marriages, funerals, a whole lot. There's drink everywhere. Why don't you drink? Now, 10 years ago, I was asked this question as I got into a new relationship and I didn't want to tell the person that I had an alcohol issue. And I started to drink a little bit. Okay, I've done a lot of videos on here about one drink will kill you, and that's what nearly happened to me. It's very lucky to be here. When you stop drinking, people are very curious as to why you don't drink. And you start to wonder about yourself. Shall I fit in? I'll just try one. You know you shouldn't be trying any if you've stopped, because you've obviously got a problem if you stop. You can't moderate it. I couldn't moderate. So everybody virtually will come up to you and say, why don't you drink? You're not joining in. You're not joining in. You're going to be a bore. All this nonsense. Okay. Now, after 5 years sober, after 5 years drinking and nearly losing my life in our hospital between 2019 and 2022, when I got a little bit better, all the time people will ask the question, you have to be sober confident, and you can't let this question rattle you. Now, I was speaking to somebody the other day on here via messages, and he posed a very interesting question about people like you and I, if you do drink too much. I'm not saying everybody does who watches this, but why can't we just have one drink? Are we allergic to it? Is there a problem with us? Can our bodies not take it? Is our brain not wired properly? All this sort of thing. And it gave me an idea, and I thought I'll share this with you. Tell people you've got an allergy to it, you're allergic to drink. Just come out with that, I can't drink. They'll still question you, but you've got to be confident. Because if you're not, you'll start drinking again. And I've relapsed many times because of this. Why don't you drink? Why don't you join in? Be confident and say, look, I don't drink, it doesn't agree with me. You wouldn't give somebody peanuts for an allergy, would you? Giving me a drink would probably kill me now. Okay? Use this line. I'm allergic to it. People may not question as much. Because there's definitely something different about people who get addicted. Some people get addicted more quickly than others. I think it's more of a habit thing. It was with me. I just got used to it. Then I used it to function. And then it became dangerous. You know, I've been through the 4 steps before. You know, get social drinking, then you get heavy drinking, moderate to heavy, then you get to stage 3 where you start to feel, I don't feel very well with this. Then stage 3.5, you know it's going to cause you major problems, but you still continue because by then you're hooked on it. So it's a good question, isn't it? It sounds like a bit of an excuse, I'm allergic to it, but you must refuse the drink because only one will start you off again. And I think personally, the relapse is the biggest killer. You think you're going to be all right after 8 years. And I started drinking 2014 to 19. In that 5 years, I drank once a week, then once a day, then twice a day, and 3 times a day, then for 24 hours. It just builds up like that. As soon as you start drinking, your body changes, your mind tricks you into thinking, oh, I'm going to be all right now, I'm in control. So when you're out and about, and if you want to stop, and you're worried about this, because I know a lot of people are, how will I tell my family? How will I tell my mates? How will I deal with this? How am I going to deal with this social situation? What happens if I meet somebody new and they say, why don't you drink? What am I going to say? You tell them, I can't drink, I'm allergic to it. Simple as that. If they ask any other questions, then just dodge them. Because you can't go around the houses with this. You say, I tried to. I said, well, get myself fit. You know, so we said, well, you're not a bodybuilder. And then I tried the other one about, it doesn't make me feel very well. I'll go and have one. And then I tried the best one, which I thought was the best. Driving. I stole the driving. And then you get into a situation where somebody stays in a hotel or you stay at somebody's house. You don't have to drive, do you? What are you going to say then? You get a bit sort of rattled by this. Well, I did anyway. And you say, oh, just have one then. Just have one to fit in so they don't think there's something wrong with me. This is the stigma it causes. And it's the only thing you give up that's bad for you that people question why you give it up. And it's constantly, you hear that a lot from heavy drinkers. I wonder why I get asked so much. And this is why a lot of people start again, I'm sure. Because of the social pressure. I was speaking to a chap recently and he didn't want to stop because he had a family party or something to go to, in case people knew. Well, I think if you're a heavy drinker, as I was, a dangerous drinker I call it, people already know. People can see that you drink too much. They're not stupid, you know. So I think that's a really good way of approaching this. We're allergic to it. We cannot handle it. It does us no good at all. Because that one drink will take you over the edge again. I'm not saying it's going to kill you immediately, but if you keep relapsing, it will. Because one drink's too many, isn't it, for us, unfortunately. And it's a massive thing when somebody says, you need to stop for life, to save your life. And there's so many people don't. So many people just carry on and get worse and worse physically and mentally. So you've got to try and focus on this and be confident with people. Why don't you drink? Because I don't need a drink, I'm allergic to it, or whatever you want to say. Because, believe you me, a lot of people I know have passed away because of this. They've stopped for a while. I know a guy who had pancreatitis twice, was in intensive care twice for weeks on end. And he had a year off the drink. And he decided one fine day he would have a half. And he's still around, but he's gone, it's yellow now, got heavily jaundice. He was on 17 tablets a day, which allowed him to drink. It's crazy, isn't it? All that medication just so he could go out or stay in and have another drink, which is going to make him worse. Why do we do it? Tell them you're allergic to it, you can't drink, and go from there. But do not, under any circumstances, cave under the pressure that I did. Doesn't matter what's happening, because what will happen is you get ill, and the people that you're trying to please, as it were, will move on with their lives, and you're left in a ditch with nothing. If you're benefiting from the channel, please subscribe and share these videos to anybody who may be struggling with alcohol, and please drop me a line. I'll speak to you soon.